Hey, everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable Podcast. It is Thursday, February 19th. 9 more freaking days left in February. Once we're done February, March, it's a crazy month. Anything can happen. I've seen snowstorms in March. But the good thing is, here's the good thing. We changed the time. We gain an hour at night, and it's getting warmer. Meteorologically, it's spring once we hit March the 1st. So good times are ahead. Baseball starts, and the Swallows return to Capistrano, whatever that means. And, we're starting to get out of the heart of winter. Now, watch I say that, and Sunday we'll get 10 inches of snow. Anyway, well, we got to start talking about spring, right? Oh, wait, before we do that, what is it today, huh? It kind of sucks all the days today. Chocolate mint day is okay. It's okay. But look at tomorrow. Just in case I'm not on tomorrow. Look at tomorrow. Tomorrow has a bunch of good days. Now listen to this. Listen. Cherry pie day. Ooh, cherry pie. Oh, it's one of my favorites. Love cherry pie. Love it. Used to get cherry pie and tasty cakes. Yeah, if you live around the Philadelphia area like I do, cherry pie, tasty cakes are a staple of this area. Sort of like cheesesteaks and soft pretzels. But when I was a kid, they had the tasty cake pies. Well, they still do, but they were better back then. Why? Because they had the real cherries in the cherry pie. They had the real blueberries in the blueberry pie. And nowadays, they mash it up like pureed shit because I guess they don't want to get sued if somebody swallows a cherry pit or something. I don't know. Maybe it's to cut costs or something. Don't get me wrong. I love tasty cakes. I grew up on tasty cakes and I still have them once in a while. But they're not as good as they used to be. I don't care what they say. Okay, that's my little tasty cake rant. Tomorrow is comfy day. Be comfortable. Comfy day. I guess that means just lounge around all day in your loungewear. Just be comfortable, right? Leadership day. Be a leader, not a follower. Love your pet day. Well, I don't know why we have a day to love your pet. That should be every day. Every day. There's my buddy Coco right there. You can see it past my big head. There's the Coco. Love your pet every day. But, okay, tomorrow especially, give your pet extra loving. Muffin day. Oh, I love muffins. Blueberry muffins. The ones with the chocolate chip in them. Ooh. And caregivers. Now, that's an important day. Because if you're a caregiver, if you're taking care of your mom or your grandma, dad, and grandfather or something, and it's very important to take care of yourself. You've got to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of grandpa, right? I mean, you've got to. So you got to schedule a day away, maybe get visiting nurses in that day. But you have to make time for yourself. Caregivers day. Take care of yourself or be good to yourself. Because I know from being a social worker all these years that it is tough. It's a tough job and it's very rewarding, but it can really grind you down. So you got to take care of yourself. Okay? Caregivers day too. All right, so I figured we'd do this. Baseball is coming. I love the NFL, but these other sports like the NBA is stupid anymore. Or the players don't even try to tank most of the time. It's coming back tonight, but who cares? And the hockey, the Olympics are going on. So the NHL, they're having their break. And so I love the NFL, but right now the NFL is down. The thing is, the draft isn't till April. Free agency doesn't start until March. And the combines start. Yeah, there's stuff. But it's not like the games, right? Come on. And all this other football is crap. USFL, it's whatever numbers and names and letters. It's crap. The NFL is where it's at. But regardless, I love baseball and I still love baseball even after all these years. Baseball is springtime. It's hope. It's summer. It's the warm weather. It's hot dogs and popcorn. And baseball is a day out at the park. And it's watching a game every single night. Isn't that great? Be able to turn on your TV and watch the Phillies or whoever you're following every single day. It's like a soap opera. You follow them from spring training until hopefully the playoffs in the World Series in November. So it's the best. And it is really the best when your team is good. And I can't wait for baseball. I'm starting it this year. And the games actually start this weekend. So they got this World Baseball Classic going on too pretty soon. That's okay. That's okay. I'll watch some of the games. But, it kind of interferes with spring training, throws everybody off. Nothing like Major League Baseball will be starting. Minor League Baseball is great too. Go to see a minor league game this year. The Phillies have Reading. They have up in Allentown. They've got great minor league team. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start talking about baseball a little bit. And I'm going to give you my predictions. There are 6 divisions in baseball, as you know. National League, American League, East, Central, West. We're going to talk one division every time of one. Let's start today with American League West. American League West. And who do I think is going to win? Seattle. Seattle Mariners. They almost got to the World Series last year. They had Cal Raleigh hit 60 home runs. I don't know if he could do that again this year, but I mean, they have the best pitching staff. They've got George Kirby. They've got Logan Gilbert. Seattle is where it's at. I actually think not only is Seattle going to win American League West, Seattle's going to win the American League. That's my pick. I mean, Seattle may win the whole thing. Of course, there's always the looming Godzilla, the Dodgers. God forbid, the Dodgers. We'll talk about them someday. But Seattle, I think, is going to win the American League. Not the Yankees. Yeah, the Yankees get all this hype. Oh, we're the Bronx Bombers, the Yankees. Hoity-toity Yankees. No, stop it, Yankees. We'll talk about American League East some other day. But I don't think the Yankees are going to beat them. Red Sox, the Tigers, always a chance with Scooble. But to me, I think Seattle is going to win American League. But we're talking about the divisions. Seattle's going to win American League East. Astros, those cheating rotten Astros. Remember those Astros? And I get it. Not many players remain on the Astros who cheated, but Altuve is still there, a little punk. And but you know what? The Astros ain't what they used to be. They've got rid of a lot of them. Kyle Tucker's not on the Astros anymore. And they're just not the same. They're okay. They're a good team. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Astros slipped down to maybe 4th, 5th place. I'm serious. I would like it too. Because their fans very arrogant. Can't stand it. Texas Rangers. They opened up with the Phillies, live Phillies in Philadelphia, the end of March. And I think Texas, they rebound this year. I think they might have second place behind Seattle. And the reason I say that is because Texas, they have good pitching. They've got Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi. They've got some solid pitchers on Texas. And they still have Corey Seager. They can still hit too. So I don't think Texas would take the division, but I think they could be second place. They could sneak into the playoffs this year as a wild card team. Now I'll tell you, the kicker in that division, believe it or not, the Oakland A's. Oakland A's. Boy, do I like their everyday lineup. They've got Butler, they've got Rooker, and they got this young Jacob Wilson guy. And they've got some really good young position players. The thing about the A's, two things. The A's don't have much pitching, and that's what it's going to come down to. And the other thing is, they play in Sacramento. It's literally like a minor league park, and it's the most conducive for hitting in baseball. The ball's flying. So the A's, they're like this nomad team, I mean, think about the history of the A's. They started right here in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia A's, Jimmy Fox, Connie Mack, and those boys. Then they move out to Kansas City. And then stay there. They go to Oakland. And then the Oakland A's. And then they go to, now they're just A's. Because they're out of Oakland, in Sacramento, until their ballpark is done in Las Vegas. Will they ever get to Las Vegas? Who knows? I don't know. But what a vagabond team, huh? But you got to give them credit in one way. They are building a good roster. Now, will they be able to keep those players when push comes to shove and they have to pay them? Will they be able to pay them? So far, yes, they've been able to extend a few of their players. So maybe they will finally keep a lot of those young players that are coming up through their system. Problem is, they haven't been able to attract too many free agents because who wants to play in Sacramento? I mean, I don't even want to play there. Jesus. So, but, catch a break or two, and the A's might be okay. I think if the A's get to 500, that's progress for the A's. Give them credit, right? And then you have the pitiful Los Angeles Angels. What a difference, huh? You got this monster Dodger team out there, two-time world champion, a team that they win like 120 friggin' games this year. And then you got this little pitiful Angel team down in Anaheim. And they suck. They've got a few extra players this year that they got in deals. Got some young players to try to cultivate. But Mike Trout, I know you watch me, I know you listen to me. You probably live in Millville, New Jersey now. Hey, why, Trout? Why are you still there? I mean, what the hell? Yeah, Mike Trout had the chance to come to the Phillies. He would have answered their center field prayers. Mike Trout in the lineup with Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. Whoa. Mike Trout, what are you thinking staying there? The Angels aren't going to do anything. They're probably going to be a last place team in American League West. I hate to do this because Mike Trout is a loyal Eagles fan. When baseball isn't playing, and usually Mike Trout is not in the playoffs, he's at every Eagles home game. Right there in the front row. But Mike Trout, what do you do? Why are you still there? You're never going to get to a World Series that way. I hope he stays healthy because I'd like to see Mike Trout have a couple more great seasons before he heads to the Hall of Fame. That's what I'm going to do. But as far as the Angels doing anything this year, nah, they're not doing it. Come on, come on, come on. They're not even going to sniff the players. So that's my analysis for what it's worth, which isn't much, of American League West. Put your money on Seattle. They almost got there that last year. I think they're not only going to win the American League West, they're going to win the division. I think they are going to the World Series this year. Now, will they play the Dodgers? Probably, but who knows? We'll talk about that in the next couple of shows. So in future shows, we'll talk more about the divisions. I'll give you my World Series matchups before the season begins. Who to put your money on for who's going to win the World Series, blah, 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 blah. All right, so that's that. Huh? What's going on? I heard about this Prince Andrew. Yeah, I didn't look at. You know, can you believe he's like the first person ever in the royal family being arrested? Oh God, I didn't realize that. I thought, well, the royal family's been around for a long time. You got your Queen Elizabeth the First, then you got your Queen Elizabeth II, Queen Victoria. You got all these kings through the generations, King Henry VIII, and all these guys, Prince John, Robin Hood, all these guys. But to believe that that's the first member of the royal family ever to be arrested, really? Whoa, that kind of puts things in perspective, doesn't it? And it shows you if you do something wrong, you're not going to get away from it. You're not going to get away with it unless you live in America. Oh my God, what are we doing now? But anyway, this Prince Andrew, he's in a lot of hot water. Huh? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised he'll be probably out on bail. But what a trial that's going to be. Did you ever see how they have the trials over there? They wear the wigs and everything, and they shout, oh, but they have those ballots, bang one. They call them barristers over there. Not lawyers, not attorneys, not ambulance chasers. They call them barristers. Yeah. Hoity-toity, So, it's going to be interesting, I'll tell you that. I hope this starts to change. Maybe this will break the ice, and maybe we'll get more of these creeps who will be arrested and brought to justice. That's what I say. Bring them to justice. If you did something wrong, especially to kids or to your country, you should face the consequences. I think no matter what political party you belong to, I think we can all agree on that. If you do something wrong, face the music. That's my contention. Face the music. Like Beretta said. Remember Beretta? There was that cop show back in the 70s. Robert Blake, he had that cockatoo on his shoulders there. And he always said, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Or was it the other way around? If you can't do the crime, don't do the time. If you can't do the whatever. Something like that. Beretta. Do you remember that show? Oh, there was a lot of these gritty police shows back in the 70s. Remember that? They had Beretta. What else? Help me. Streets of San Francisco with the young Michael Douglas and Carl Schwarber. No, not Carl Schwarber. What the hell was his name? Not Karl Marx. What that? Karl Malden. That's it. Karl Malden. He was the guy with the bulbous nose, He looked like Mr. Magoo. But he was a hell of an actor. And then you had, of course, you had your Hawaii Five-O. Book of Dano. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Uh, Jack Lord. Jack Lord. He had this hair. It was like pasted down. It was hard. He would lard up his hair, and he'd be running around the Hawaiian Islands there, saying, "Book 'em, Dano, book 'em, Dano, book 'em." What else? Kojak. Do you remember Kojak? He had the lollipop. Who loves you, baby? Telly Savalas. Paul Henry. Telly Savalas. He was cool, wasn't he? He had the lollipop. Who loves you, baby? And who could forget Duck Falco? Columbo, Peter Falk. The guy with the raincoat. And a lot of those great shows, a lot of those great police detective shows when I was growing. Starsky and Hutch. Remember those guys? David Soul and Paul Michael Glazer. How about that? I'm 118 years old. I can remember that. I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, but I can remember that shit. Huh? Starsky and Hutch. And it would come on, and they would throw themselves over the hoods of the cars, and they'd be rolling around on the ground, and they'd be chasing after dogs or whatever in the streets. And a lot of great cop shows. You think of any other 70s cop shows, your favorites? Comment to me. Throw some comment to me, okay? Because if I had time, I would be able to think of hundreds of them. Well, maybe one or two. But but there were a lot of cop shows back in those days. It seems to me like the 60s were full of westerns, Bonanza, Wild Wild West, the Virginia. Remember all those shows? Gunsmoke. And then you had your medical shows. Marcus Welby, MD. Ben Casey. Doctor Kildare. Medical Center with Chad. Remember that? A lot of great medical shit back then. And then it seemed like when we got into the 70s, we got more cop shows, I mean, yeah, early on, 50s, 60s, we had cop shows. We had Highway Patrol with Roderick Crawford. Remember that great theme song? Roderick Crawford, Highway Patrol. I love that shit. Dragnet. Do you remember Dragnet? Jack Webb as Friday, and Harry Morgan was his partner, and Harry Morgan would go on to play in MASH with Alan Alda. So Dragnet was a very popular show. The facts, man. Just give me the facts, okay? You know what? All these cop shows are just coming to mind, And then you had all these lawyer shows. Remember the lawyer shows? Perry Mason had to be the most famous one. Raymond Burr, who would go on to play a cop in Ironside. Remember Ironside? To be the guy in the wheelchair there. He could solve any case unless it was in a building without a ring. Then he was stopped. How well I know. Owen Marshall. There are all kinds of lawyers too. Just great TV. Great TV. If you miss those shows like I do, go on. What do they have done? TV Land, Me TV. I don't know. They change it all the time. you get to see some of these reruns. If you grew up during that era, you'll relive a lot of these shows and these memories and say, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. And if you didn't grow up then, you'll see what you missed. Yeah, what we enjoyed growing up. Just watch a good episode of Marcus Welby MD. That was your prototype family doctor. I mean, he would see you in the office, always with a smile. Or when Marcus Welby MD was done with his office hours, he would actually come to the house and take care of you with his little black bag. And he'd come and listen to your heart and look at tongue depressors, and he would take care of you. Marcus Welby MD. I wish I had a family doctor. I'll tell you that. They don't make them like they used to. All right. Yeah, I can just reminisce with you all day long with those TV shows. I love it. I just love it. And we will. Next time I come back, we'll talk more old TV. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. But look, yeah, comedy shows, it's just the best. Just the best. All right. So you heard my prediction. Seattle Mariners will win the American League West. Take note, because next time I'm on, maybe it'll be tomorrow, maybe Saturday, maybe it won't be till Monday, who knows? We'll talk another division as we get closer and closer to opening day. Okay. Anyway, everybody take care, peace and love, and have a great day. Thanks a lot for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.